Daf Yomi Tractate Bava Metzia, page 76a, top of the page, with the words Im Bal Habayis Chozer Bo, etc. Conversely, if the employer reneges, he is at a disadvantage. These two rulings are in accordance with the principle that whoever changes the terms accepted by both parties is at a disadvantage, and whoever reneges on an agreement is at a disadvantage. Gemara. The Gemara Talmud says, the Gemara starts by analyzing the phrase, and they deceived one another. The Gemara comments, the Tana does not teach they reneged on the agreement with one another, which would indicate that either the employer or the laborers changed their mind. Rather, it states that they deceived one another, which eventually means that the laborers deceived one another. The Gemara therefore inquires, what are the circumstances? The Gemara explains, this is referring to a case where, for example, the employer said to one of the laborers, go and hire laborers for me, and that laborer went and deceived those other laborers. The Gemara again asks, what are the circumstances? What actually went on here? What are the circumstances of this deception? If the employer said to him, hire for me laborers at 4 dinars, and he went and told them that they are hired for 3 dinars, what is the relevance of this grievance? After all, they knew and accepted the conditions of their hire. What grounds for complaint do they have? If the employer said to him to hire laborers for 3 dinars, and the middleman went and told them that it was 4, what are the circumstances? If he told them at the time the monetary value of your services, in other words, your wage, is incumbent upon me, let that middleman give them the difference from his own pocket. This is, as it is taught in Braita, with regard to one who hires a laborer to perform work in his own field, and the employer inadvertently showed the laborer a field belonging to another in which he should work. The employer must give the laborer his full wages, and in addition, the employer goes back and takes from the owner of the field in which he worked the value of the benefits that the owner received from the laborer. The employer is entitled to claim from the owner of the fields the profit that owner gained from the work, but not the entire wages of the laborer. This indicates that the one who says your wage is incumbent upon me must pay the specified sum. The Gemara explains, no, it is necessary to state this halakha where the middleman said to them, the obligation to pay your wages is incumbent upon the employer. And it subsequently became apparent that the employer was not willing to pay that much. In this case, the laborers have a grievance only against the laborer who hired them. The Gemara challenges, but let us see how much laborers are hired for in that place, and the employer should pay them in accordance with the accepted custom. The Gemara answers, no. It is necessary in a place where there are those who hire for 4 dinars and there are those others who hire for 3. The reason for their grievance is that the laborers can say to the middleman, had you not told us that you were hiring us for 4 dinars, we would have made an effort and found another employer, and we would have hired ourselves out for 4 dinars. Consequently, you caused us a loss. Okay. If you wish, say that actually we are dealing with. If you wish, say that the mission is referring to a place where there's a fixed wage for laborers, but here we are dealing with a homeowner, meaning one usually not accustomed to labor, who was hired for his services in order to supplement their earnings. Such people will occasionally work for others as well. The reason for their grievance is that these laborers who own fields say to the middleman, had you not told us that we are hired for 4, it would have been too demeaning for us to be hired, as it is not worthwhile to work in the field of another for so little when we have our own plots of land. This is the first cause of their grievance. If you wish, say that actually we are dealing with regular laborers, not a homeowner, and the reason for their grievance is that they say to the middleman, since you spoke to us of 4, we made an effort to do higher quality work for you. The Gemara challenges, and let us see their work. If it is evident that they performed the task more effectively, they deserve to be paid more money. The Gemara responds, this is referring to tilling the land, where the quality of the work is not immediately apparent. The Gemara asks, with regard to tilling as well, doesn't the employer know what they have done, as he can examine the earth they tilled? The Gemara answers, the laborers dig a ditch that is now filled with water, and therefore the employer does not know exactly what they have accomplished. If you wish, say that actually we are dealing with an employer who said to the middleman, hire laborers for 4, and he went and told them that they were hired for 3. And as for that which you said, why should they have a grievance against him? And as they knew and accepted the terms, although they agreed to those terms, they still have a grievance, as they can say to the one who came to terms with them, don't you have respect for the verse, do not withhold good from him to whom it is due when it is the power in your hands to do it? Proverbs 37:27.